everybody, how you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. This is Marlon here, and this is episode 47 of Mushroom City of Minecraft. And I just got out of dinner. It was quite pleasant, though the weather was not. I mean, but the good news was that at least I didn't get rained on because I ate dinner at home, which really mattered, because if I weren't home, then I would be super late and would have canceled the stream or delayed the stream or postponed the stream until tomorrow, which is not going to happen. But anyway, how you guys doing? Anybody had a good day? Anybody wish they had better days? Looking forward to the weekend or whatever? For me, well, let's just say that, it's all tired as usual, all that same crap. But, however, weekend-wise, okay, so Friday, I'm looking forward to 7-Eleven Day. That is something that I usually do every July 11th, because, the 7th, because July is the 7th month of the year, and then 11, so 7-Eleven, and that's why you call it 7-Eleven Day. Now, why? What's with the hype about that? Free Slurpee, although it may be free for only for like one small Slurpee per customer, but at least it'll be worth it for me, because that is something I'm craving for and that I really want, whether if it's during my lunch break or after work. But if it's after work, then I would have to start the stream at like probably 9 o'clock to 11 or 12. But it'll start at like 9 o'clock if it does happen. Alright, so, what are we doing? Okay, so, let's talk about the weather for about the first half of the stream. So, what do we have here? So, in the first hour, we're going to talk about all things about the weather. So, we got 117 active weather alerts. Excuse me. There are 11 severe thunderstorm warnings in Virginia, Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Colorado, Kansas, New Mexico, North Carolina, Maryland, Texas. 11 flash flood warnings in New Mexico, Texas, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, West Virginia, Missouri. I think I already said Virginia. If not, Virginia. 10 special marine warnings in New Jersey, Delaware, New York, Canada. Well, not Canada. Somewhere offshore. Connecticut. I think I already said Connecticut. No, I did not. I think I said Maryland. But you know what? Maryland, Virginia, Massachusetts. And 20 special weather statements in Texas, Virginia, Wisconsin, Maryland, Wyoming, Virginia, Oklahoma, Oregon, Kansas, I think I said North Carolina, Louisiana, New Mexico, Connecticut, New York, Alabama. We have 12 non-precipitation active weather alerts, 11 extreme heat warnings, and 1 dense fog advisory located in, what do you know? Looks like it's in northeastern Wisconsin, but just offshore on in the Lake Superior. 23 flood warnings and 30 red flag warnings. All right, let's start off with the Northeast. So, the main story from the Northeast had been severe weather throughout places like the Northeast, stretching from Maine all the way down towards Virginia, West Virginia. Then you still have warnings that are going on. It's all because you have this cold front that starts from New Hampshire, swinging in through southern New England, through the Catskills, the Poconos, through Pennsylvania, into West Virginia, Ohio. But we'll get to the Ohio Valley soon. Let's see what's happening right now. Okay, so there is a special marine warning just off of Boston, just southeast of the city, but offshore though. Thunderstorms are still popping up in places like eastern New Hampshire and southern Maine. Then you have passing showers and storms rolling across through southern New England, especially the Hudson Valley, and some clouds and showers in the Finger Lakes region. Still some showers and storms rolling through the Catskills, the Poconos, Williamsport, and you're experiencing, and I've experienced some thunderstorms in the greater New York City area, but right now, from what it looks like, it is currently affecting places like Long Island, the Hudson Valley, Connecticut, and the Jersey Shore, and also the rest of South Jersey, though. Anywhere just south of Newark, they're getting some storms going. Flash flood warnings are in effect throughout Philadelphia and much of the busy parts of southeast Pennsylvania. Though there are special weather statements still lingering throughout the lower Hudson Valley, particularly in Westchester County, Fairfield County, Connecticut, and they're also, in the Bronx as well. There are also special marine warnings on the western half of the Long Island Sound, especially in on the Atlantic beaches of Suffolk County, that is, and especially some special marine warnings off of the southern half of the Jersey Shore, all the way towards the Delaware beaches. So other than that, we go down to the mid-Atlantic, where there is a severe thunderstorm warning just located in Salisbury, Maryland, in the Delmarva Peninsula. Plenty of special marine warnings throughout the Chesapeake area on the southern half of the Bay Area, though there is a special marine warning somewhere in the Potomac River just south of Washington, D.C., and special weather statements throughout places like Richmond, Amelia Courthouse, and Montrose and Tappahannock, Virginia. There is a flash flood warning with a special weather statement just to the west of Virginia Beach and Norfolk. Places like Wakefield, Ivor, getting plenty of storms going. And yet, more special weather statements, like I said, in Richmond, especially to the west. And there's also a severe thunderstorm warning in Virginia, in North Carolina, with a special weather statement there. And there's also a flash flood warning to the far south of West Virginia. Anywhere along the I-95 corridor, stretching from Fayetteville, North Carolina, all the way to Augusta, Maine. They are getting hammered with some heavy rain, some thunderstorms, strong to severe ones in some places. We go to the rest of the Carolinas, where there is a flood warning right along riverbank from Fayetteville all the way down towards Elizabethtown, North Carolina, and another one in Lumberton, Linden Oaks. And then, other than some spotty showers and storms located just near Rockmount, Eaton, and north of Greensboro, especially on the southwestern part of North Carolina. There's also more of them in South Carolina, but it looks like as though they're fading right now. Just only a few showers in Allendale, South Carolina. And there was some thunderstorms in Dillon and Florence, South Carolina, but that's faded. Although there are still some thunderstorms in places like Savannah, anywhere just west of Savannah, like Hinesville, Jessup, and Waycross, Georgia. Anywhere in southern Georgia, there are again some spotty thunderstorms right now. There used to be some spotty clusters of thunderstorms in the northern half of the state of Georgia, though right now it's only limited, and there's just a few left over near Calhoun and Rome, Georgia, and especially throughout the rest of southern Georgia. Well, I don't mean the rest, but there's still some. We go down to Florida. Special marine warning just off of Palm Coast, Florida, and as well as another two just off of Marco Island. Still some thunderstorms, daily thunderstorms in South Florida, still occurring, yet moving slowly to the southwest, and plenty of storms still going in Palm Coast, Florida. Then we go to Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee, where there's still passing showers and thunderstorms. Some of them are strong enough to issue special weather statements in places like Collinwood and Waynesboro, Tennessee, especially Cherokee, Alabama. Getting some heavy rains, some strong thunderstorms, small hail damaging winds. It's going to be a long night for those in the volunteer state, especially in Alabama. Particularly in northern Alabama, just a few clusters of thunderstorms in the southern corners of Alabama, and still plenty of strong to severe thunderstorms throughout much of Mississippi and Louisiana, and as well as Arkansas. There are flood warnings have already been in place just east of Little Rock, but there are some. Oh yeah, there are some flood warnings in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and the surrounding areas, especially going into Oklahoma. There's also special weather statements in Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, going all the way towards Dallas, where they've been issued a flash flood warning and a severe thunderstorm warning as well. And there's still plenty of flash flood warnings that are in place throughout the already impacted places in central Texas due to the 4th of July floods. And I regret to tell you folks that the death toll has surpassed 100. And unfortunately, some of them have been children. Oh, God. Yeah, just rest in peace, those kids and counselors and others have yet to be accounted for, and those who have already been accounted for. But the point is, just hope that once that everyone helps out, help pitches in, with the recovery efforts and comfort those who have lost loved ones. It's pretty difficult. Plenty of storms still going along the Gulf Coast in Texas. And of course, I did mention there are more storms in northeastern Texas, clusters of thunderstorms, and even a severe thunderstorm warning just southeast of Memphis, Texas. Storms are moving southward. They're not widespread, but they're clusters of spots of thunderstorms moving through the panhandle of Texas. Though nothing to report on, or not much at least, in western Texas. Oklahoma, plenty of severe thunderstorm warnings, special weather statement, and even a flood warning throughout the Sooner State. It's going to be a long night, folks, over there. Then we go to the Ohio Valley, where there are some thunderstorms rolling across through the southern half of the state of Kentucky, but it's mostly located in southeastern Kentucky and on the far southwestern corner of Kentucky as well. So far in Ohio, things are quite clear, nothing to report on. Indiana, they're going to get some thunderstorms in a matter of minutes. Some of them have already started experiencing some rain, some thunderstorms right now, but the worst of it's going to arrive in a couple minutes. Chicago, from what it seems to be, that they may have dodged a bullet in some places throughout the Windy City. Oh, actually, it's happening right now in the southern half of the city and the surrounding suburbs, the southern part of the suburbs of Chicago. But in the Midwest so far, actually, we'll get back to that in just a few seconds. In Michigan, you do have passing showers and thunderstorms in the southern half of the peninsula going into Detroit, but it's quite clear right now in the northern half of the lower peninsula. There were clouds that were rolling in, but that has started to dissipate. And there are still some thunderstorms, some showers in Sault Ste. Marie in the eastern part of the Upper Peninsula. In Wisconsin, a special weather statement has been issued because of strong thunderstorms throughout lake shores of Lake Michigan in Wisconsin and the southern part of Wisconsin too. And especially remaining clusters of thunderstorms in the northern half of Wisconsin. And Minnesota, it's not much to talk about, but although there have been some clusters of thunderstorms moving across through the northeastern part of the state, but for the most part, not much going on throughout the rest of the state. There were some action, but that has started to move south towards Iowa, and we do have flood warnings throughout the southern half of the state. Still the same ones that have been a thing for quite some time. Iowa, thunderstorms, a few of them are rolling across through the state, but only few in numbers and small, but not much that's considered widespread. Missouri, St. Louis, they've been experiencing some thunderstorms throughout the past 3 hours, and they're still going through some hell right now, especially in Joplin, Missouri. Springfield, that had some clouds and showers. Farmington, thunderstorms. Northern half of the state, not much to talk about because there's not much action. It's all clear. In the southern half of Kansas, there are some severe thunderstorm warnings and clusters of thunderstorms right now throughout the southern half of Kansas. Not much in northern Kansas, at least for now, because what it looks like is that there are some thunderstorms that are rolling through from northeastern Colorado, which we'll get to in a moment, which could end up... actually, I'm seeing some that are about to enter Kansas. Only clouds, though, so far. Nebraska, some clouds, thunderstorms right now rolling across through the western half of the state, but starting to dissipate, though, in South Dakota, North Dakota. Still some few clouds, and it's starting to dissipate throughout the past 3 hours, so not much to talk about. Just some flood warning on the far eastern side of the state of South Dakota. In the northern Rockies, showers and storms have been popping up from Idaho, central Idaho, entering through western Montana, becoming just an inconvenience to a bit of a small problem or a large problem, depending on your case. Regardless, it's wet out there in places like Butte and Bozeman. They're going to get some clouds and showers from Idaho. Although there are some red flag warnings in the southern half of Idaho, and as well as the south central part of Wyoming. Even though, despite the fact there are some spotty showers and storms from Cheyenne all the way to Jackson and Cody, Wyoming. Colorado, I've already mentioned that there are thunderstorms. They're about to move towards Kansas right now. The clouds have reached there, but storms, well, they're about to be on their way in a few minutes. For the past 3 hours, the Rockies have pop-up thunderstorms and showers, yet start to fade as a result of nighttime cooling. Moving towards the southeast, though, and as we move towards southwestern Utah, red flag warnings are in place. Not much to report on, just a few clouds in the northeastern corner of the state right now. New Mexico, you have storms starting to make its journey southward. But along the way, just a flash flood warning in Las Cruces, New Mexico. The southern half of the state getting some rain going. And a special weather statement just southeast of Roswell. Just a few lingering showers and storms, but starting to slowly fade in northern New Mexico, but still present there. And there are extreme heat warnings in Arizona, particularly southern half of Arizona, and the Grand Canyon as well, with some thunderstorms in the Grand Canyon area, Flagstaff, especially in the southeast part of the state of Arizona. California has extreme heat warnings in the southeastern part of the state. Other than that, it's quite clear. Nevada, plenty of red flag warnings all across much of the state except for Clark County, Nevada, where Las Vegas is. It's quite dry though. Now we go to the Pacific Northwest, where there are some thunderstorms brewing in the leeward side of the Cascades in Oregon, making its approach towards Washington State and Idaho, which is mostly responsible for some wet weather that's occurring in places like central Idaho and western Montana. Red flag warnings are already in place in south central Oregon and the leeward side of the Cascades on the eastern part of Washington State. Showers are occurring in Olympic National Park, which is this peninsula part of Washington State, but just some of it has just made their way there. But there's more yet to come. Okay, now let's talk about, let's transition to what's going on right now in terms of the weather. So let me change the scene real quick to here. Now let's see what we got, folks. Okay, so I see. Let me take a quick sip, folks. All right, hold on tight. Okay, now what's going on in the Northeast? Let's try to make this brief as much as possible, where there are some light and variable winds throughout much of the Northeast, though throughout the coastal parts of the Northeast. Let's say start off with Virginia and the Delmarva Peninsula, southern half of the Delmarva Peninsula, where winds blowing up to 15 miles per hour, moving towards the northeast though, except for the Delmarva Peninsula, where winds are blowing up to 30 miles an hour there. And along, let's see, along the Jersey Shore, Long Island, the south shore of Long Island, especially in the coastal part of Rhode Island and Cape Cod, winds blowing towards the northeast at up to 25 miles per hour in some places. In New Hampshire and Maine, the winds are blowing on shore, but they're blowing up to 15 miles per hour. And along the lake shores of Pennsylvania and upstate New York, winds are coming from the Great Lakes, moving towards the southeast, but becoming light and variable as they approach towards the Appalachian Mountains. Let's take a look at the temperatures real quick. So what do we have here? So in Maine, we do have temperatures that are in the 60s to mid 70s. The rest of New England, you have temperatures that are in the 80s to low 80s. I mean, upstate New York, temperatures are in the 70s, especially in the greater New York City area. Temperatures range from the mid 70s to low 80s. Pennsylvania, temperatures are in the 70s. The Delmarva Peninsula, Western Maryland, and Washington D.C. temperatures are in the upper mid 70s to lower 80s. West Virginia temperatures are in the 70s, and Virginia temperatures are in the mid 70s to mid 80s. Let's go down to North Carolina, where much of the Carolinas and Georgia, their winds are blowing towards the north. In Georgia, it's very light, up to 10 miles per hour, but in the interior part of North Carolina, central North Carolina, like Charlotte, winds moving about up to 20 to 25 miles per hour, but in the mountainous parts of North Carolina, and especially in northeastern Georgia, winds are light and variable there. In the immediate coastal part of the Carolinas, and even the coastal part of Georgia, winds blowing towards the north, as I said, but they're actually blowing up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. And it's a little higher in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Temperatures in the Carolinas, they are in the upper 70s to upper 80s, and that includes Georgia being in the 80s, Tennessee, mostly light and variable throughout much of the state, with temperatures in the mid 70s to mid 80s. Let's go down to Florida, where much of Florida, it's quite calm, but on the Atlantic side in South Florida, winds are blowing on shore, just blowing up to 10 miles per hour, but in the Big Bend area, just winds blowing onshore at up to 20 miles per hour, especially in the Panhandle. But in the west coast in South Florida, you have winds blowing towards the southwest up to 10 miles an hour. Stock temperatures where they're in the 80s statewide, Mississippi and Alabama. For the most part, winds are very light and variable there, but in the southern part of each state, winds are blowing onshore to the northeast, but still light and variable, though, for the most part. With temperatures in the upper 70s to upper 80s in both states. Arkansas, you're actually seeing winds generally blowing towards the northeast at up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. Temperature-wise, they're in the upper 70s to mid-80s. Louisiana, winds are generally blowing towards the northeast at up to 20 miles an hour, with temperatures in the 80s. Let's go to Texas. In Texas, you have winds are somewhat light and variable, but in some places, other places in the Panhandle of Texas, winds are blowing towards the northwest at up to 25 to 30 miles an hour. In West Texas, winds are blowing towards the west at up to 20 to 30 miles an hour. In southern Texas, winds are blowing to the northwest at up to 20 to 30 miles an hour. Eastern and northeastern Texas, winds are blowing towards the north at up to 20 to 30 miles per hour, but in some places in northern Texas, it's somewhat light and variable there. Temperatures in the Panhandle of Texas, they range from 73 in Lubbock to Boise City. Where is that? Boise City? Nah, it's in Oklahoma. Temperatures are in the mid-70s to mid-80s in the Panhandle of Texas, though Western Texas, temperatures are in the mid-80s to low 90s. In the southern part of Texas, temperatures are in the 80s to mid-90s. East Texas, temperatures are in the mid-70s to mid-80s. Northeastern Texas, 80s to low 90s. Oklahoma, winds are somewhat light and variable throughout much of Oklahoma, but in the Panhandle of the state, they're moving towards the northwest at up to 20 to 25, 30 miles an hour, with temperatures in the 80s statewide. Kentucky, winds are very light and variable in Kentucky, though winds are a little strong, just up to 10 miles an hour, moving towards the north in western Kentucky. In Ohio, also light and variable, but western Ohio, winds blowing generally towards the south up to 10 to 15 miles an hour. Indiana, wind in the northwestern part of Indiana, but blowing towards the northeast at up to 20 miles an hour. The rest of the state, calm and variable in terms of wind direction. Illinois, you have winds that are very light and variable, but in the northern half of the state, winds blowing towards the northeast up to 20 to 30 miles per hour in some places. Otherwise, it's just becoming very light. Temperatures in Kentucky, they're in the 70s to low 80s. Ohio, mid-70s to low 80s. Indiana, 80s. Illinois, 70s to low 80s. Let's go to Michigan and Wisconsin. So what do we have here? So in Michigan, winds are very light and somewhat variable. But maximum winds are up to 20 miles an hour there in the lower peninsula. And a similar story in the upper peninsula, though in the western part of the upper peninsula, winds are moving towards the southeast at up to 10 to 15 to 20 miles an hour. Wisconsin, northern half of the state, winds are coming from the north, shifting towards the southeast at up to 15 miles an hour. Southern half of the state, very calm though, but some winds are blowing towards the east though, and shifting towards the north. Once it goes through Lake Michigan, enters Lake Michigan, I should say. Lower peninsula of Michigan, the temperatures are in the 70s to low 80s. Upper peninsula, 60s to low 70s. Wisconsin, temperatures are in the 70s. Let's go to Minnesota, where winds are generally blowing from the north, shifting towards the south-southeast, and the strongest winds are up to 20 miles an hour in the southern half of the state. Otherwise, it's calm. Temperatures all across the state, they're in the low 60s to upper 70s. Iowa, you get winds. They're generally blowing towards the southeast, becoming light and variable in some places, with temperatures that are in the upper 70s to mid 80s. Missouri, winds a little bit light and variable, for that matter. In the southeastern part of the state, winds are up to 20 miles an hour, but it looks like as though it's moving towards the northeast. Temperatures throughout throughout Missouri, they're in the mid 70s to mid 80s. Let's go to Kansas and Nebraska, where you're looking at light and variable winds on the eastern thirds of each state, but in the the western two-thirds parts of each state of Nebraska and Kansas, winds are generally blowing towards the north, although some of them are moving towards the northeast or towards the northwest. But in some places, like western Nebraska and western Kansas, winds blowing up to 20 to 30 miles an hour. Temperatures in Kansas, they're in the low 80s to low 90s. Nebraska, mid 70s to low 90s. Then we go to South Dakotas, where it's light and variable in the eastern half of North Dakota, but winds are blowing towards the northwest at up to 20 to 30 miles an hour. In the eastern half of South Dakota, winds are coming from the northeast, very light, just up to 15 to 20 miles an hour, but shifting towards the west in general or to the northwest at up to 20 to 30 miles per hour, but only in southwestern South Dakota, where winds are very, very strong, but a little lighter, just up to 20 to 25 miles per hour in the northwestern part of the state. Temperatures in South Dakota, they are in the mid 70s to upper 80s. North Dakota, temperatures are in the low 70s to low 80s. Now let's go to the northern Rockies, where much of the state, much of the region in Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana, winds are generally blowing towards the west, but in eastern Montana, winds are shifting towards the north. Yet in the west central Montana, winds blowing up to 30 miles an hour, northeastern corner and southeastern corner up to 25 miles per hour. Idaho, winds are very calm and variable in the central part of the state, but winds in the southern part, they are moving at 20 to 30 miles an hour, and up to 20 in the northern part. Wyoming, winds throughout the south and central parts of the state, they are moving between 20 to 25 miles per hour. Temperatures in Montana, they range from the mid 80s all the way to the mid 90s. In Idaho, in the northern half of the state, temperatures are in the upper 60s to mid 70s. Southern half of the state, they actually range from... Actually, in the northern half of Idaho, temperatures are in the upper 60s to 70s. Southern half, 80s to 100 degrees in Twin Falls. Wyoming, temperatures are in the 80s for the most part. Go to Colorado, where winds are very... let's see. The western half of the state, winds are moving towards the east up to 25 miles an hour. Eastern third of the state, winds are generally blowing towards the west. In some places up to 30 miles an hour, otherwise calmer. But between that, in the Rockies, like places like Denver, Colorado Springs, winds are somewhat light and variable. Temperatures are in the mid 80s to upper 90s. Utah, winds are generally blowing towards the northeast, some places up to 30 miles an hour, otherwise calmer, with temperatures in the northern half, well, actually statewide, they are in the upper 80s to mid hundreds. Nevada, winds are also blowing towards the northeast, up to 30 miles per hour in some places. In the northern half of the state, though, temperatures are in the 90s, 80s to low 90s. Southern half of the state, 90s to mid hundreds. Let's go to New Mexico and Arizona, where you do have somewhat light and variable winds in the eastern half of the state, especially in western New Mexico, where winds are up to 25 to 30 miles an hour in some places. Yet it looks like as though winds are generally blowing towards the south in the northwestern corner of the state, southwestern corner. Winds, it looks like for the most part, they're converging, becoming light and variable though. Regardless, temperatures are in the 90s. In Arizona, winds are generally blowing towards the east, except for southeastern Arizona, where winds are shifting towards the south. And wind-wise, wind speed actually, they are moving up to 25 miles per hour in the northern half of the state. In some places, though, elsewhere it's just calmer. Temperatures in the northern half of the state, they are in the mid-70s to upper 80s. Then in the southern half of the state, they are in the low 80s to upper 100. Well, actually, low 110s. In California, you have winds that are generally blowing towards the northeast. Some places moving up to 30 miles an hour. But regardless, winds are moving onshore, but winds are very light and variable in the northern coastal parts of California, though in the southern part of California, just a little stronger, up to 20 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the temperatures. So what do we have? Temperatures 73 in San Diego, 107 in Indio, 84 in LA, 102 in Bakersfield, 100 in Fresno, 79 in San Jose, 88 in Sacramento, 93 Chico, 95 in Redding, and 59 in Eureka. In the Pacific Northwest, we have winds that are coming from the Pacific, moving generally towards the east, but in eastern Washington state, they shift towards the northeast, blowing up to 30 miles an hour. In central Oregon, winds are blowing up to 25 to 30 miles per hour, especially in the southeastern corner of the state. The northeastern corner of the state, winds are very light and variable there. Temperatures in Oregon, they are in the mid 80s to mid 90s. Washington State, temperatures range from 79 in Seattle all the way to 102 in Yakima. Now let's talk about gusts. So, is there any gusts? Come on, work with me. Sorry about that, folks. I gotta refresh the page. You know, something's not right with this computer today. I've only been here for about a couple minutes. Hold on, let me take a quick sip, folks. Man. Yeah, it's a good thing there wasn't much noise out lately because of a thunderstorm, because everyone's inside, and that's better than, sunny days, because otherwise a lot of people would be making noise outside and disrupt the stream all the time. Okay, so we got gusts in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Winds, for the most part, have been up to 30 miles per hour in some places throughout the Northeast, only because of the storm, especially the Outer Banks up to 40 miles an hour. And and as for Chantal, well, Chantal's long gone. It died just about yesterday, or Sunday night, and then after that it just became a big old rainstorm, and then after that, well, that's the end of the story for Chantal. We'll worry about the next storm once We'll worry about the next storm once the next storm develops. Right now, we'll talk about the tropics in a few minutes. Gusts of around 40 to 50 miles an hour in New Mexico and Texas. Gusts of up to 40 throughout the Rockies, Great Basin, and the Cascades up to 50. And what about humidity? Plenty of humidity all across the East Coast, especially in the Mississippi Valley, Great Lakes region, the interior South, like Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, and even coastal Texas, and especially in the Panhandle of Texas too. And now let's talk about the rainfall accumulation. So what do we have here? Okay, so New England. Just up to an inch and a half of rain, to almost 2 inches in some places. Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Maine and New Hampshire. Well, northeastern Florida to South Georgia is just up to an inch of rain. No more than an inch of rain in Arkansas, Texas. At least that's what's estimated. But the true estimates are actually based on actual reports from local officials and from ordinary citizens there. In the Ohio Valley, up to an inch of rain there, and especially in the southern lower peninsula of Michigan. And now let's move on to the next tropical system. So according to this, there's only 7 days without any tropical activity, folks. So that means that Chantal is long gone. So we don't need to worry about that. Although the next storm, once it comes, we'll get back to this. But in the meantime, let's talk about the now. So what do we have here? This is the 500 millibar map. And the 500 millibar map shows us where the troughs and ridges are located. So what do we have here? Let me just take a look at the chat real quick. Just let it connect. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what's going on my end when it comes to the chat. Okay, so everything's fine on my end, although I might need to fix up on that one at some point. Alright, regardless, the most important thing is what's going on with the weather right now. Okay, so what we have here is that we do have a big area of high pressure at aloft, which is responsible for a big ridge for all that heating that's occurring throughout the west. And there's going to be a trough there's a trough just located off of Northern California. A trough also located in the Great Lakes region and the upper Mississippi Valley. And there's also a big upper level high, just off of the Carolinas. It's wide though, and it's producing a ridge just off of the East Coast, which means that we're dealing with some severe weather in the Northeast, especially in the Midwest, particularly in the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region. And there's also plenty of storms in parts of the Pacific Northwest, only in Idaho, Oregon, Montana. Now we move on to 24 hours from now, so that's for Wednesday night. A trough will be just north of the Great Lakes region, and there's going to be a upper level high sitting over the desert Southwest, which means a ridge. It's going to be over the Rockies, a trough over the Pacific Northwest, and still a ridge that's going to be over and off the Northeast, which means there's still going to be some wet weather in parts of the Northeast, especially the Mid-Atlantic, Great Lakes region, And there's also going to be some storms brewing in the Great Basin, the Northern Rockies as well. So we got to keep an eye. I got to keep an eye on that. Now we move on to Thursday night, where Thursday night there's going to be a trough just northeast of the Great Lakes region near Hudson Bay, and there's going to be a small weak ridge over the Ozarks, a small weak trough over the southwestern plains, and there's still an upper level ridge, just upper level high, just sitting over Southern California, which means there's going to be a ridge over the Great Basin. But it's going to be flat though. Oh yeah, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's going to be a ridge over in north of Minnesota. A trough just north of Montana, which means that there's going to be wet weather throughout the Northeast, as well as parts of northern Rockies and northern Plains, and just some in the Great Southern Plains region. But we'll check on that. Oh yeah, but there's also going to be some wet weather in the Mid-Atlantic too. Finally, by Friday night, there's going to be a trough. It's going to be in north of North Dakota, all the way towards Iowa, and in the Great Plains region. It's going to be an upper level high, just sitting over and off Southern California. A ridge over the Northern Rockies, as well as a weak flat trough, but wide, located over West Virginia. Trough just north of Maine, which means that there is going to be wet weather in the Great Lakes region, upper Mississippi Valley, all the way down towards the Ozarks. Alright, so now let's go back to Radar Omega right now. Let's do it. Okay, so we got that. Now we're going to talk about the 3-day forecast, so bear with me, folks. We'll get to Minecraft in just a moment. Right now we got to talk about temperature, humidity, and what else? Oh yeah. CAPE, which is convection, precipitation. Let me see if there's any with whoops. No. Don't do it. Okay, so that's not going to work. So this is what's going to happen tomorrow. So by tomorrow, we're going to have plenty of warm lows throughout the Gulf Coast, the Mid-Atlantic, all the way up towards New England. Much of the East Coast will get plenty of warm lows, especially the desert Southwest. It's going to get pretty warm, well, except for Lake Superior, though. Quite chilly there. By tomorrow night, it's going to get super hot throughout Texas, Louisiana, the Great Plains, even portions of the Rockies, Great Basin too, desert Southwest, much California though, and just some parts of the leeward side of the Cascades, eastern Washington State. But in the Cascades, it's going to get super cool. Temperatures in the 50s to 40s for the high though. By Thursday morning, there's going to be plenty of warm lows throughout the Gulf Coast, especially much of the East Coast too, and the desert Southwest too. Quite chilly in the northern Rockies and the Cascades, parts of the Great Basin, Sierra Nevadas too, and even the northern half of the Great Lakes region. By Thursday night, there's going to be a lot of heat all across the Great Plains region, the Mississippi Valley, desert Southwest, Great Basin, and California too, and especially in Florida. Friday morning, plenty of warm lows throughout much of the Mississippi Valley, Gulf Coast, East Coast, desert Southwest, and Central Valley, California. Chilly temperatures in the northern Rockies. And finally, plenty of heat all across southern plains, Texas, Mississippi Valley, Desert Southwest, Great Basin, California. Then we move on towards the dew point. For the dew point, well, anywhere east of the Rockies, it's very moist. Though it's not as moist in the northern plains and the upper Mississippi Valley and the northern Great Lakes region, in contrast to the other, well, compared to the other parts of the eastern rock, anywhere that's east of the Rockies. There is also moisture located throughout the west coast too. Dry air starts moving in through the western half of the Great Plains, but yet anywhere east of that is considered very moist though. Yet moisture builds up along the west coast for tomorrow night. Thursday morning, still moist from the Great Plains region all the way towards the east coast. And still plenty of moisture to go around throughout much of the west coast and parts of the leeward side of the Cascades too. By Thursday night, humidity starts moving east because of dry air that starts moving in. But anywhere that's east of the western part of the Great Plains region will get plenty of moisture, and a lot of it, especially on the west coast too, and parts of the desert southwest as well. Friday morning, there's dry air moving in throughout the western half of the Great Plains region, east of which plenty of moisture, but although some parts of the Great Lakes region won't be as moist as the other parts, plenty of moisture still lingering throughout the west coast. And finally, dry air moves in through the Dakotas and pretty much southern plains, Texas, Mississippi Valley, all the way towards the east coast. They're going to get a lot of moisture, and more moisture starts lingering throughout the west coast too, and the desert southwest is going to get moisture as well. Now let's tune into the Cape right now. Plenty of Cape throughout the Gulf Coast, plus Florida, and as well as a buildup of Cape throughout the Great Plains region and even the southeast and mid-Atlantic and parts of the Ohio Valley too. Now what about tomorrow night? Well, there's a substantial amount of Cape in the northern plains, upper Mississippi Valley, well, the Great Plains in general. As a lot of Cape in the Gulf Coast, especially up the East Coast too, and the Ohio Valley, parts of the Great Lakes as well, and the rest of the South too. Then we move on to Thursday morning, where there's going to be a lot of Cape for the early morning hours in Florida, the rest of the Gulf Coast too, and some parts of the East Coast as well. Plenty of Cape in the central third of the United States. Thursday night is going to be very hectic. The central third of the country is going to get a lot of Cape, ripe for severe weather. Gulf Coast, even Lakes Erie, Ontario, those states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, and upstate New York, they're going to get a lot of Cape convection going. Friday morning, there's going to be a lot of Cape all across the Sunshine State. Buildup of Cape in the mid to lower Mississippi valleys. I don't know why I said valleys. Oh yeah, in the Adirondacks too. And finally, a lot of Cape throughout the Mississippi Valley. Look at that. And especially in upstate New York, northwestern Pennsylvania. Parts of Florida will get a lot of Cape 2 and the parts of the Carolinas too. Now let's talk about precipitation. For tomorrow morning, there's going to be plenty of wet weather in some places in the Northeast, especially the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley. Much of the South is going to get lots of storms going, and the Great Plains too. Scattered clouds and showers in the Northern Plains and the parts of the Pacific Northwest. Now, what about tomorrow night? There's going to be plenty of clouds, showers, and storms all across the East Coast, the South, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region, Mid-Mississippi Valley, and as well as some parts of the Great Plains too. Clouds, showers, a few storms throughout the Rockies, Desert Southwest, Great Basin, and parts of the Pacific Northwest too. Thursday morning, plenty of wet weather throughout much of the South, just anywhere east of Texas. Cloud showers and storms in the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region, upper Mississippi Valley. Storms brewing in the Dakotas, northern plains. Stray clouds and showers throughout parts of the West Coast. Thursday night, lots of wet weather, storms anywhere east of the Mississippi Valley, except for much of the Great Lakes region. Though there are some storms brewing throughout the Great Plains region, Mississippi Valley, if I'm missing out on that, parts of the Desert Southwest, Northern Rockies too. Then we move on to Friday morning, where Friday morning there's still going to be clouds, showers, and storms throughout the East Coast, the interior Northeast, and the rest of the Appalachian Mountains. Parts of the Ohio Valley will get some clouds, showers, and even some storms will be located throughout the Mississippi Valley, especially the Great Plains region and parts of the Northern Rockies as well. Stray shower and clouds. Parts of the West Coast. And finally, we have plenty of showers and some storms that will occur anywhere east of the Mississippi Valley, except for much of the Great Lakes region and parts of the Ohio Valley as well. Though in the upper Mississippi Valley, there's going to be some storms that are going to happen, especially in the Colorado Rockies down to New Mexico, parts of Texas too. Scattered clouds and showers throughout parts of the Great Basin. But for the most part, folks, there isn't going to be snow. Now let's move back here. And since this is 9:58 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, well, I can still play Minecraft. Okay, so without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and switch gears to Minecraft right about now. The bee's knees is what they call it. The bee's knees. Let me take a quick sip of water, folks. I've been talking a lot. Oh, boy. Okay, so let's get back to work right now, folks. Yeah, it's just that there's something that's in the way, folks. Please excuse me. Okay, false alarm. Thought it was something important. Okay, so now let's get back to the game. Now, where was I? I mean, it's been a long time. I haven't played this since I got my first car. That was like 2 weeks ago. And I haven't played much during that time. Now, where was I? Yeah, I think I am at... Okay. Yeah, I am so lost. Yeah, I'll just wait until the sun rises. But in the meantime, I just need a little breather, folks. Why? Because I've been talking a lot. So, welcome to the stream. For those of you just tuning in, it is 10:01 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Hope you guys had a good day. Hope you guys had better days. If you guys didn't had any good day whatsoever, my point is, I just hope you guys are doing all right. Okay, so until the sun rises, we're just gonna chill. But because I really have no idea where am I right now, because I mean, it's been a long time since I've actually played this. I mean, even less than 2 weeks ago is long enough to forget things. But for about a week, that's as much as I can go in terms of remembering where I left off, like Minecraft. But if you guys are wondering when I'll be playing Kingdom Hearts 2 again, that'll be on Saturday. But in the meantime, it's just going to be me playing Minecraft tonight, then then tomorrow and Friday. But right now, all I know is that I just came out of a thunderstorm right now. Well, rather, that was about an hour ago. I mean, an hour before I started streaming, or rather 30 minutes before I started streaming, it was thundering, flashes, and such. Boy, that was horrible. I would have canceled the stream, but good thing it was not severe enough for that to happen. I mean, it's just some few rumbles of thunder, flashes of lightning. Before that. I mean, because after all, lightning arrives before thunder does. I mean, if you think it's the other way around, then you really need to brush up on your meteorology. Because lightning is light, thunder is sound, and light travels faster than sound. Speed of light travels like 300 million meters per second, which, in other words, it's faster than you can ever fly through space. Yeah, you just turn on the light, and the speed that the light flashes, yeah, that's the speed of light. Like, and the speed of sound, only about 334 meters per second. So that means that it is possible. I mean, it is possible for mankind to build an aircraft that could surpass the speed of sound. And believe it or not, it is called Mach 1. You can move as fast as like the speed of sound, Mach 2, faster than that, and so on. Rather, no, that's not what I mean. I really need to brush up on my, supersonic aircraft knowledge. All I know is that there is such aircraft that can move faster than the speed of sound. But speed of light is not going to happen because it requires substantial and astronomical amount of energy, amount of power that can surpass that. Let me see where. Okay, so what I can see right now is that the moon is setting. I know that's not really logical in the real world all the time. Alright, I finished my water bottle, which is good. Let me turn on the AC if, just because it's getting humid. I'll be right back. And for those of you who are hoping for a weather topic of the day, it'll come up at the end of the stream. I mean, I am streaming until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is less than an hour from now. Okay, so if that's west, that means this way's east. Okay, now I get it. I think. Okay, I've already done that. Now I really need to get to the part where I would just do this part. Okay, so now I'm starting to get this whole thing. So basically, I'm actually at the northwestern part of the city. Now it is up to me to... Oh, okay, so now I realize that I've already got much done. Okay. That's good. That is so good. What I had for dinner tonight... I had ribs, leftover ribs actually. I mean, although fresh ribs is great, but yeah, let's just say I'm just happy that the ribs are good enough to be eaten. Meaning edible. Oh yeah, later this summer, I'm actually planning on giving you guys the weather topic of the day featuring me. I'm gonna go behind the green screen for you guys for the stream. Maybe I'll do a demo. I'll do it for the demo reel. But in the meantime, it's just me. I mean, I am gonna do it for the demo reel for real. I gotta do it this year. But in case if I'm not able to succeed before the end of the year, well, I can always, continue doing this. And this will be my new home, my new dream. But the thing is, I have to be far more serious about this. Because after all, this is like the new future. This is the future of broadcast meteorology, after all. And I'm not saying it just as a means of wishful thinking, but because it is true that I've seen many YouTube meteorologists succeed in that. If they can do it, then I can do it too. The thing is, I need support, not only from my fans, but also from my viewers, but also from my friends, and also I must network with so many people in the industry just to get their endorsement, so I can get the support, so that we can form a community. But of course, there's a thing where you gotta know the difference between those who just want to be weather meteorologists and those who are degreed. In my instance, For instance, yours truly, I am a degreed meteorologist. For real. I mean, you could pretty much ask ask anyone, anyone I know, anyone that truly know me, personally, or professionally, that I am the real deal. You know, I feel more peaceful right now. Yeah, because I mean, that's after I did my weather discussion. And after playing Kingdom Hearts the whole week, well, not the whole week, but pretty much non-stop last week. I mean, meaning that I didn't even get a chance to play Minecraft for you guys last week because of the 4th of July. It was a fine 4th of July, although I did manage to help out a friend who was on TV on the 4th of July. I mean, I don't know what her lifestyle is, but all I know is that being a meteorologist, you know, on TV during the 4th of July evening, well, whether if it's true or not, well, it depends on how she feels, but all I can say is that I'm just so glad that I was able to be one of her real viewers, because, well, let's just say that I wanted to hang out with, you know, my other friends, but unfortunately, they didn't really respond on time. Which meant that my plan to see them again had faltered. And so I had nothing much to do. And then, well, started wondering what my TV meteorologist friend was up to. Yeah, she's still good. And always will be. And I don't mean like average, I mean like fantastic. It's just that I just miss my friends. Yeah. Let's just say that I just miss my friends. It's been a long time. And the more time and even though I'm used to, you know, staying home much of the time, you know, spending a lot of time to myself, but the more I feel isolated from friends, the more I tend to feel more lonelier than I can handle. And that at some point I really need to get back to hanging out. If you know what I mean? I mean, even as an introvert like me, I gotta like get out there, live life to the fullest. But like I said, I'm glad that she made my 4th of July, wonderful, fun. Just to make up for, so many disappointing and lackluster events that I've had throughout the past few years since graduation. But I'm not gonna talk further about that. Meaning it was mostly uneventful, disappointing, not much to brag about. Yeah, nothing to brag about, actually. And if any of my friends are watching this, I miss you guys. I miss you so much. And if I got too personal with you guys, I deeply apologize. Let's just say I missed you guys, and it's best to meet up at some point sooner. Because I missed y'all. Yeah, I can still hear a few fireworks that are being used right now. They're being displayed, but it's late. It's like, I'm not talking about oh, it's that time of the day, or time of the night that you should stop playing with fireworks, but rather, this is not the right time because it's not really appropriate. It's late. You're gonna have to wait till the 4th of July, or maybe wait until Christmas or the New Year. So this is this is Northeast 20th Street. If any of my friends who are watching this and are curious about how to beat Kingdom Hearts, you can look back at my streams on my secondary channel on YouTube, just so that you guys get a better idea of how did I finish Kingdom Hearts 1, and also coming up Kingdom Hearts 2, which I'm still in the works right now. I'm still working right now, but it's just that there's a long way to go, and I don't know how long will it last, because I've never even played the game after I beat Kingdom Hearts 1. All I know is that this guy named Ansem is actually a whole different character from the one that we beat in Kingdom Hearts 1. He's actually the imposter, the one that we beat. And Mickey called him, King Mickey called him Ansem the Wise. And I'm like, okay, well, if he's wise, then what the hell has he been doing? Like with Sora beating Ansem. Like, who the hell is the imposter? Who exactly is the imposter who pretended to be Ansem? Yeah, I can't wait for Doctor Stone, My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, and even a new dubbed episode to One Piece. From what I've heard, even though I haven't watched yet, that it's about a story of Bonnie and her father Bartholomew Kuma. Yeah, and it's their origin story, and it's got a touching feeling to it. You know, a true bond between the father and daughter, and how she felt after Kuma became who he is today. For any viewers and even friends of mine who are watching and are curious about One Piece, what's that? It's actually an anime. It's actually the name of the treasure. An anime that's named after the treasure that a kid with a straw hat named Luffy is looking to find as he wants to become king of the pirates. And this kid ate a devil fruit known as the Gum Gum fruit. And it gives him the ability to stretch like rubber. Oh yeah, and in fact, one of the sports announcers last season, it's funny how he mispronounced Luffy, and actually, like, yeah, it's not really new to me. I mean, that's something that I thought of because I would intentionally mistaken. I would intentionally mispronounce Luffy's name to myself, Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy, because it's funny. And do I recommend that anime? Absolutely. I mean, if you guys watch that anime, we gotta talk. You know what I mean? We gotta talk. We have some serious talking to do about One Piece. But only a particular. Well, but for friends of mine, we have a serious shitload of talking to do. And it's a must because I have not had one single close friend of mine who is currently watching One Piece. Not one. Even after a couple years, I still haven't had a friend, a close friend who I've ever had who would be willing to talk to me about One Piece. I mean, so far it's only just my bro, my step bro, but no one else. Oh yeah, and getting to the point, I really want to go to this One Piece Cafe restaurant in Los Angeles. I mean, there is one in Las Vegas, but I would prefer to go to Los Angeles because yeah, it has because flights are cheaper from New York to LA than going to Las Vegas, despite the distance. I would rather go to LA because LA's got more stuff that I want to go to more than Las Vegas because Las Vegas is always about betting. and casinos and shit, but honestly, like, LA's a better place to go to for the One Piece Cafe. I mean, I don't mind going to Las Vegas for that, but I mean, but to be honest, like, I don't feel like going there because, I mean, I would have to do a lot more in Vegas, but so far it's only just betting. It's only just casinos, resorts and shit, but nothing much to brag about. Like, if I want to go to Vegas for just One Piece. I mean, LA, and besides, LA is where I find a few friends and family members over there than in Las Vegas. And the place is located in Little Tokyo. Downtown LA, that is. And the best part would be for me to invite a friend. Or my military bro, whatever, but for now, I'm settling for anything. I mean, if I can get a friend who never watched One Piece to come with me to Los Angeles, that would be awesome. Yeah, the reason why, like, One Piece is mentioned a lot is because it's been almost 26 years since the anime started, and the series is almost close to the part where the pirates find the treasure, and they're getting close to it, to this island, and all it takes is just about an island more or two until they can get to Laugh Tale and finding it. But, however, that I predict that Luffy, he's going to get his ass killed by the Navy. The Navy is going to go after him after the Straw Hats find Laugh Tale. And just before they even get their hands on that treasure, Luffy is going to be under arrest. And the Straw Hats are going to watch Luffy get beheaded. It's not a spoiler, folks. I mean, think about it. Like, I've been watching One Piece for a long time, and I know something like this might happen, or rather, how it happens, based on my prediction and all the shows I've seen, especially the outcome and everything that One Piece has showed us. This is war between pirates and the world government. Everyone is looking for that treasure known as One Piece, left behind by the former and late king of the pirates, Goldie Roger. His last words encouraged everyone to start looking for the treasure, but would only tell people to start finding the treasure. And ever since then, everyone started looking for the treasure, yet they've yet to find it, And ever since Goldie Rogers' execution, Pirate Era was born. The Great Pirate Era was born. Oh yeah, and yeah, from what I've heard from like what's going on because of the floods, there's been a lot of crazy people out there saying like, oh, the floods are staged and shit. Honestly, like, I don't know what's wrong with those people. Like, what do they want? Money? Get a fucking life. Go back to school. Brush up on your meteorology. If you don't want to learn, get the fuck out of here. You don't get to say anything. Because how can you talk about something that doesn't make sense? Nobody's interested. They're only interested in wondering about what's happening with the little girls in that camp. Not about, like, you know, oh, the weather needs to change, weather modification. Shut the fuck up. Dude. There's a tragedy? More than 100 people died. And you want to talk about that? Either brush up on your meteorology skills, or else just admit yourself to a psych ward. Yeah, bring it. Yeah, come in with open minds. Not bullshit. Open minds are welcome in this stream. If you guys want to ask me meteorology questions, I'm happy to do so. If you want to troll me just because I'm a meteorologist, well, guess what? I'll be able to show you guys the door with the hammer band. as a friend would say to me, get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, open minds are welcome in this stream, not trolls. If you guys got questions about weather, go ahead. I won't hurt you, as long as it's respectful. Look at that, herds of sheep heading west. So yeah, like I said, there are a lot of crazy people out there, you know, being political for no reason. Hold on a minute. So yeah, if you guys are curious about things, this is the stream for you. But if you guys are just gonna troll me around and just come here with bullshit conspiracy theories, then this is not the stream for you. This is a gaming and weather streaming, not a political stream, nor that it should be. But unfortunately, everything's being politicized nowadays. No matter how much I try to avoid, you just can't avoid politics because some knucklehead that wants to bring it all up. And then all hell breaks loose, and then everything becomes political, and then ends up in my streams. No matter how much I try to filter out, it's always going to come back. It's kind of like wind blowing sand on your sandwich. And even though you try to get the sand out of your sandwich, it's become difficult to come out. It's difficult to get it out because you don't know how many grains of sand there's left or how much you got rid of. All you know is that it's still there and it won't go away even when you try to get it out. Yeah, once it's in there, it's hard to get it out. And then you'll be eating a somewhat sandy sandwich. No pun intended. Or do I? No, or would you rather eat a sandwich? That came too late. Hold on a minute. Never mind. A sandwich. Yeah. Yeah, that was my worst joke I'd ever made. The line was horrible. So I deeply apologize for that, folks, especially even if the correct joke was there. No pun intended. But the way I delivered it was just sloppy. Alright, so let's see. Well, it is currently 10:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Welcome to the stream. For those of you just tuning in, my name is Marlon. This is episode 47 of Mushroom City of Minecraft. Hope you guys had a good day, or hoping that you guys have better days in the long run or in the days to come. Right now, I'm just playing Minecraft for another 20 minutes. We'll get to the weather topic of the day at 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is about 20 minutes from now. And then after that, we wrap up the stream and continue this on Thursday evening. Just depending on the timing of thunderstorms. I wonder how long will this last. I feel like this is going to take a lot longer than I thought. I mean, there should be an ending, right? Right? Oh, there is an ending. Okay, good, good, good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. But yeah, always check your sources, guys, every time when you post something, because there's a lot of people out there that are just spreading all that misinformation. Oftentimes, it's disinformation that's put out there. Right now, we are in the midst of an informational warfare that we are in nowadays. And that's going to stay like that for quite some time, until at some point something's about to give. But however, this may not be the first time that's ever happened in human history. Although I wish I can provide samples, or rather examples of such. But thing is, I don't really come up with those at the top of my head. At least in some topics like this, though, particularly. And will it be the last time that we'd end up in the informational warfare? Unfortunately, no. Because as long as humanity exists, there's always ups and downs. It's like a cycle of nonsense that occurs just probably once couple years or such, that ends. Reignites, and then ends one way or another. Type of sources that I get are from my friends and those in the profession, those in the professional settings, whether if they're close friends or acquaintances of mine that I've known for a long time. and even family members as well. Oh yeah, and let's not forget about personal judgment too. I mean, just gotta keep an open mind. Your curiosity is also something that you really gotta have in order to get the idea of what's factual and what's not. Hold on a minute. The way I would look at things in current events, I would watch pretty much historical documentaries. Yeah, but with many perspectives, though, because I mean, the more perspectives you gain, then the more understanding that you'll have. Just get a better sense of what what's going on right nowadays. To how can you compare that to a historical perspective, and what would it lead to? But not only that, but also check your sources using common sense. But what about me, you ask? Well, there's a lot of I don't knows. But the one thing I can tell you is that a lot of people are just not using the information correctly. And when it comes to weather, there's a lot of people who really need to know more about weather. And I mean a lot. And the powers to be definitely need to know exactly of how the world works in terms of how weather is being presented, and how weather data is being collected, and how it's being used to forecast. Well, I'm used to a lot of people saying that, oh, you got the weather wrong. You said it was going to rain. But no, it's sunny outside. That's just one thing. It's typical. But what really pisses me off the most is that when you have the powers to be who encourages disinformation and misinformation about how we work things in the meteorological world, how we present our forecasts, and even use weather data to provide forecasts for the public. That part really pisses me off a lot. Because those are the very people that definitely need to go back to school and brush up on their meteorology. And if they insist on not doing so, even after they learn meteorology, well, I would tell them, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of the United States of America and never come back. Yeah. Or else, you might as well just deport yourself out. Or, might as well just admit yourself to a psych ward. Just come back with an open mind. Right? Just ask questions, all right? Ask plenty of respectful questions, and we'll definitely give you the answers. Even if there are things we don't know, we can always do it. That's for us to figure out. It's not because meteorologists, are dumb. It's because we know how the weather works so far, but there's a lot of what we don't know that's out there, and yet it is our job to find out what is going on and what will be going on. And how can we improve on our forecasts? That'll happen every time. There will always be errors on our part, human error, computational error, and even any type of weather phenomenon that computers can't really pick up. But yet we can try to explain as much as we can. Just have faith in us. This stream is made for open-minded people. People who want to know more about the weather. Even if there are some things we don't know, we'll be happy to answer them to the best of our ability. There's no such thing as a perfect science, because science is always based on trial and error. Years, decades, and even millennia of scientific research in every field is always in the works. It always requires trial and error. And facts we always have to assure people that, well, there are a lot of things we do know, but there are also a lot of things that we don't know. And the things that we don't know, that's for us to figure it out. And like I said, we scientists have a lot to do, a lot of research. Because we have to keep asking ourselves, what is this? And how is this formed? What's causing all this? Just got to keep asking a lot of questions. Do experiments. Just repeat the process until we get things right, just to assure people that this is what it is. And results aren't always perfect, Sometimes it comes out as an error, but that's not always the case. But we do everything with evidence. In every types of evidence, as long as it has to be based on facts, not conjecture or lies or made up shit or superstition. Look at that. We made it. So yeah, no trolls, only open minds in this stream. Yeah, I'm so sorry for what I said earlier about, using a deportation language. But that's just, the whole attitude talking, with the whole, look, like I said, open minds are welcome. We'll we'll answer scientific questions to the best of our abilities, as long as they're respectful. But if there's trolling going on, you know, even after I tell you all of what's going on, well, like I said, just like what I do with those with bad behavior and spamming, I ban them out of the conversation, just like that. But like I said, open minds only. Come here with open minds. No trolls. Alright, so this is what we got so far. And I did manage to get somewhat a lot done. But I might as well just go ahead and head back. Alright, so right now it is raining in the game, and we're going to make our way towards the northwestern corner of the city, where we'll be able to continue where we left off on Thursday. Right now, boy, that was quite a rant that I did, but I just had to get something out of my chest. Because, like I said, a lot of crazy people out there causing trouble, and I did say come with, open minds, not bullshit. Because if you come in with bullshit, even after I tell you guys to come here with open minds, well, you get banned out of the conversation. Yep. And I did say, just to those people, go admit yourself to a psych ward. Hey, and look, I did warn people to be cool. But if they don't want to be cool, well, oh well. Their loss, and they'll eat their loss, just like that. I mean, I don't really give a flying fucking shit if they're a power to be. They are in this stream, but they deserve to know that it is morally wrong. They know. They know it. Right, just a little more, and then we're gonna end the stream right here. Just a little more. yeah, just about a few more streams of Mushroom City and Minecraft, and then we'll get to the part where we take care of all this, and yeah. Alright, so let's stop right here and switch to Radar Omega, and also to find out the weather topic of the day. Okay, so now there is one thing that came to mind, and there was a video that I watched. It was about like what happens if you take a shower during a thunderstorm. So let's see what happens. Okay, so the weather topic of the day is here's the question: what happens if you shower during a thunderstorm? Hold on just a minute. I think I'm gonna. Okay. Showering during a thunderstorm is not recommended and can be dangerous due to the potential for lightning to travel through plumbing. Lightning can strike your home or nearby and follow the plumbing or electrical wiring, potentially shocking or electrocuting someone using the water. While the likelihood of being struck while showering is relatively low, it's best to avoid the risk altogether. So, in other words, folks, it's kind of like someone plugging in a toaster that is working, and then someone being inside a tub full of water, and then throwing that toaster into a tub full of water, and a person there, thus killing that person, and then everyone suffers the consequences. Alright, so that's it for the stream. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on Thursday for more Mushroom City and Minecraft, along with a special weather statement. Before that, before the Minecraft before the weather discussion. Until I'll probably either stream from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 9 to 11 p.m. depending on when those thunderstorms will start and end. But in the meantime, do hit me with a follow, turn on the notifications while you're at it, and I'll see you guys next time for more Mushroom City and Minecraft and weather. And until then, peace out, everybody. Love you all. Signing out.